$5, 5, 10. Get the kids some money so they can get on to the nationals, okay, and make us proud. Like
but do they know what the Ridge Road Titans are? Because you didn't say that. They're the champion.
Junior Pee Wee League. I'm pretty sure they know because they, that field be full. That field be full with parents and just everybody. And that's why I was really taken in to how many, we have a lot of football moms out here. They take that serious with the Junior Pee Wee League. My sister is a football mom. So she's there at all of the games and everything. But of course I couldn't do this because I'm just babbling on, just excited.
But it's all right. That's something to be excited about.
Yeah, of course I can't do this by myself. I'm going to let her introduce herself though,
And a glorious good Saturday afternoon to each and every one of you. This is Angela Taylor, aka A21. A is for attitude. And I will continue to remind you that when you change your attitude, you can change your life. And the experts say that it just takes 21 days for you to make that decision and begin the process. I always like to remind you as well every week that you have the power to think, to enjoy, to express, to be purposeful, to progress, to study, to form an opinion, to take a stand, to make a change, to rise, to speak, to inquire, to resist, to receive, give, and inspire. In other words, you have the power, and we are here to help you move in the direction of your greatest good. And we're going to remind you of that each and every week, going and coming.
Yes.
So with that, I'm going to turn the microphone back over to Black Rose.
Like I tell them all the time, we're here at Black Rose's Community Radio to educate, enlighten, and empower.
That's it.
Okay, so that's what it's all about. So we're going to be doing all of that simultaneously. Okay, we might talk about some stuff that y'all might not want to, y'all, I ain't going to say y'all don't want to hear, but I know it's a lot of stuff going on in the world. It is. It's overwhelming. Yeah. And we can only concentrate on one or two or three. Some of us can multitask. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't multitask, but we're going to have to come together and start really thinking about the things that matter. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have too much stuff going on in our world all at the same time.
Take a pause.
Hey, we got a screwed up president. Okay.
You're being charitable, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it, because like I said, I am an American.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give him respect because that's how my mama raised me. Okay. So I'm going to respect the man. He is our president, but I don't, my whole thing with Donald Trump is,
You cannot sum it up into 2 hours that we got this show.
It's going to take a little longer, but I'm going to tell you something. I blame, we made that bed. That's how, that's how I'm taking it.
Yeah.
We made that bed, so we're going to have to lie in it. And now that y'all know the bed was full with bed bugs and chinches and everything else, okay? Because they're going to have to disinfect that damn White House.
Yes,
okay? I mean, they're going to have to disinfect it from the roof, from the outside to the inside, okay? But, like I said, it's just a lot of stuff going on. And we all have our we all have our priorities on
our
what
causes,
we're concentrating. Our causes on what we're concentrating on. You know what I'm saying? And it's all, we're going to try to do it all here at the garden. We're going to try to educate you on everything. Okay, we might go off course. I know we do the missing and murder. We going politics. We're going to do it all.
Yes,
okay?
Indeed. Yes,
Trust and believe me, because that's how important it is.
Yes.
And I'm going to turn the mic over to you because I know you got some stuff going on because you've been paying attention to what's been going on with this impeachment trial. They've been making a media circus. They some food.
Okay. Well, let's start with some good news for Prince George's County. Now, I thought last week we talked about the zoning rewrite. And again, I encourage you guys to go to zoning, PGC. What is that website? I just saw it. Zoning at PGC. Hold on now. Give me a minute, folks. Oh, pgc.pgplanning.com. And get educated on what's going on in your particular area of the county. Because with what I heard on the news, earlier this week, Prince George's County is effective January 1, 2020. And this is as a result of, I think a little boy had died from a abscess in his mouth. This was about 4 or 5 years ago. And they have been working with, what's her name, Monica Golson, Angela Also Brooks, and what's this doctor's name? This is NFL player, Brandon Coleman.
Wow.
And the CEO, Dr. Larry Kaplan. They've announced a new partnership, and they will be providing free mobile dental and vision services for all students in Prince George's County. So you think about that zoning rewrite. You look at all of these, what do you call them, little placards in your neighborhood saying, "We buy houses fast." Something is coming. People are going to be flocking to this county, whether they're looking for development opportunities or housing opportunities, because free dental and free vision is big.
Yes, it is.
And that's going to be starting.
That's just like those scooters and those lamp posts and shit they got in DC. That's how new gentrification is setting in. Okay.
That's right. And if and we've got a couple more wine and spirit shops. Liquor stores that have changed.
Yeah, they have changed from liquor store
to wine
and spirits. Okay.
Okay. So, guys, pay attention to what's going on in your particular area, because your tax base may or may not go up, even though the zoning rezoning says it may go up. It's going to go up because these things have to be paid for.
Right.
And it's going to be paid for, I contend, with our tax dollars. So again, that's starting in January. Students will be able to access the services at schools and in mobile units. The vision services will be provided to all schools and include screenings, follow-up services with an optometrist or ophthalmologist, and free eyeglasses as needed. Wow.
Good God.
Dental care will be available at 101 schools and will include routine treatment.
Y'all hear that?
Yes, indeed.
The magic word is free.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, they talking about, if you got some issues, some of us might need them they might give you them bifocals. Okay, because I remember when I was trying to get, when I was getting them welfare glasses through the Medicaid, they tried, because I was blind as a bat. Them things was like Coke bottles for real. Okay, so that's why I'm blind today, and I be doing like this because I refuse. Now I can afford some, glasses, so I'm going to go on and get me some.
But again, in Prince George's County, we're going to have, I contend that we are going to have some folks really clamoring to get in the county just because they may have children in school and just because of these services. So pay attention, folks. And again, if you have not already done so, send your county council representative your email address so you can get the Councilmatic newsletter that comes out every month, so you can stay on top of things that are going on and be able to begin to build a relationship with your Councilmatic representative, so you can alert them to the changes that you see that you want addressed in your particular area. Okay, so with that, next thing. This is the time of year when folks are looking to donate to various causes. And because we are big advocates for child, missing children, and child and family services and that kind of thing, I looked up their, charities where the overwhelming majority of the funding goes directly to the folks who need it. And this is unlike, United Givers Fund and that kind of thing, where they're very top heavy. They pay executives and that kind of thing. These charities, the money that you donate to them, which is tax deductible, goes directly to the cause or the people who need it. The Hispanic Federation, that's in New York City, the Marine Toys for Tots Foundation. That's in Triangle, Virginia. Prevent Child Abuse in America. They're based out of Chicago. And the Ronald McDonald House Charities. The United Methodist Committee on Relief, that's in Atlanta. Look up these charities because, again, if you're looking for some additional tax deductions, December starts tomorrow. Before the end of the year, send a few dollars their way. Also, the veterans who this administration has, I'm not going to use the but F word this year, but has royally screwed.
Yeah.
We can certainly help because if it was not for them, we wouldn't have the freedoms, enjoy the freedoms that we enjoy today.
Right.
Oh, the Gary Sinise Foundations, that's in Woodland Hills, California. And many of you know Gary Sinise is an actor. He doesn't need to skim. All of that money will go to the veterans. The Homes for Our Troops, that's in Taunton, Massachusetts. Again, go to the internet, look up these organizations and get their address and send your money directly to them. The National Military Family Association, that's right in our backyard out in Alexandria, Virginia.
Yeah.
Operation Homefront, that's in San Antonio, Texas. And the Wounded Warriors Family Support in Omaha, Nebraska. Okay, these, again, are charities that the bulk of the money that they collect go directly to the people who need it. For youth development, and, that has my heart. The Boys and Girls Clubs of America, particularly in Atlanta, because all the Boys and Girls Clubs all over this country don't always do the right thing. And that's long story short. So look up the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, the Atlanta base, and send your money to them. Girls Incorporated, that's in New York City, and the National 4-H Council in Chevy Chase, Maryland. Now, give to these organizations directly. Because if you're contacted by a professional fundraiser for a charity you want to support, hang up, folks, and give the charity a direct call. Look up the number, give them a direct call. Because a lot of these folks are shysters. It's unfortunate, but it is true. The fundraiser might be keeping 2/3 of the money. Those folks who call you up, they keep 2/3, they donate 1/3. You don't want to give to folks like that. You want to give to organizations that are going to do what you want done with that money. So be a little careful. Be mindful of where you send that money, that tax-deductible money. Last but certainly not least, as it relates to the announcements, the 2020 census is coming up. Now, it is unfortunate that many of us, especially black folks, I'm going to call y'all out on it. I'm not going to do that because they're going to know my business. I'm telling you, I have heard that. I've heard that all of my life. Well, you going to fill that up because the government going to know what we're doing in our house. Okay, anyway, long story short, when you don't fill out this form, you are shortchanging everybody in the state.
That's right.
Because that is where the federal government makes a determination as to how much support they are going to send to the state. One person, it is estimated that $18,000 per person over a 10-year period. So by law, it says every 10 years, the United States Census counts every resident in the United States. Every resident, whether you legal or not. And that question as to whether you are legal or not is not on this year's census form.
Right.
And I would say I don't think it's going to be on this year's census form because it's already been thrown out.
What does counting, being counted means, like the things that come from being counted.
Like just what I said, the free dental and the free eyeglasses, the school books, teacher salaries, roads, all kinds of things. You name it. You know.
Remember I said we got to meet people where they are?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So go ahead.
Yeah. You named it. Because, again, as Major Tillman constantly reminds us, everything you do is impacted by this. The government has a finger on it somewhere.
Right.
Whether it's from that plastic wrap on top of the aspirin bottle that you buy at Walgreens to that USDA stamp in your grocery store to the the number of the amount of chlorine that's in the water. That might run in the water fountain in your school. All of that stuff is the government has to check off and approve it. So when they are counting you, that $18,000 or whatever the number is counted per person in your state. So if you got 10 people in your household, whether they're 8 months or 80, that person is counted. That 18 grand from the government is coming for them 20 people. So if you don't want the government to know that you have but 9 in there. So that's
that's one of them people that ain't gonna get no damn chlorine in the water.
That's 11,000. 11 people who 11 times 18,000. That's money that's not going to come this way, but those bodies will still have to be supported, whether it's in our school system, riding across our roads or whatever. So again, your participation determines the representation and how billions in federal funds are distributed. So don't shortchange me because you don't want the government to know your business. Okay.
Because they giving out free dental and they giving out free vision,
Yeah, that's it.
And everything. So don't shortchange me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, if our community is undercounted, your friends and neighbors will miss out on an estimated $18,000 per person over a 10-year period. And statewide, that's a total of $26.6 billion. And that's just from the feds. That's not counting our tax dollars. So don't sidestep. Black folks especially, my Latina brothers and sisters, don't be scared to fill out the form. Fill it out because it will impact all of us. Let me see, again, the census invites everybody to respond starting in March 2020. I don't think that I don't know if this is going to be an online thing, but to get more information about the upcoming census, log on to PGCENSUS. That's Prince George's Census 2020.org. And you can also email them at...
Say that one more time.
Okay, the website is P as in Peter, G as in George, Census, CENSUS 2020.org. That is the website. If you have any questions as it relates to that, you should be able to pick up the email address from the page. But in the event you may miss it, that email address is pgcensus2020 at M as in Mary, N as in Nancy, C as in Charlie, P as in Peter, P as in Peter, C as in cat.org. That's the PG Census 2020 at Maryland National Capital Parks and Planning Commission.org. So now, let me see. Our guest is going to be about 5 minutes. So do you want to go ahead?
Go ahead. Give him a little more. She outside in the parking lot.
Okay. All right.
Give him a little more.
Okay, now we're going to move on to, everybody sees the parade of Democratic candidates come across your television trying to convince you that they are the best person to fight Trump. And in keeping with vetting before you vote, I found some interesting things out about a couple of the candidates, and I'm going to work to report on at least 1 or 2 candidates per week. And again, you don't have to buy my word, but it will give you a starting point where you can vet and see if these people have, share values with you. Now, I was reading an article in the Root, and that's predominantly black writers, black online newspaper. The Root, the Griot, I find give out very good information, and again, you can track it back to various newspapers, physical newspapers in print, and just ask around or call around to various organizations trying to get a compilation of the information where you can make an intelligent assessment of the candidate. Now, what I learned this week was Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg, who many of you probably have seen, has overtaken. He's the front runner in Ohio, and I found it curious that in other states he has 0% support from the black community. And in doing a little bit of homework, I found out, well, not a little bit, a lot, because I read, the articles. Here's what I found. I know many of you guys have heard about the Tea Party. And for those of you who do not know, the Tea Party came together primarily because Barack Obama was elected to the White House. And long story short, they didn't like it.
Right.
Okay. The Tea Party is a movement, is an American, they consist of fiscally conservative political folks. And that's within the Republican Party. Members of the movement have called for lower taxes and for a reduction in the national debt of the United States and federal budget deficit through decreased government spending. And as I said, they launched in February 2009, and it was in a response to the Obama win. Now, this week, a video emerged of Pete Buttigieg speaking at a forum in 2010. And it was before a group identified with the Tea Parties. And the Tea Party is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Koch brothers. The Koch brothers funded the movement that mainstreamed America's resurgent right-wing extremism and overt racism.
Good God.
That he would even be in front of that audience is concerning to me. And for those, I think because we shared with y'all, it was a long time ago, but let me remind you, the Koch brothers are associated with right-wing extremism and overt racism. They also make Dixie cups, Dixie products, Angel toilet tissue, Angel Soft toilet tissues, to name a few. So when you buy those products, folks, you are contributing to your own demise. And that's just a couple of things. Okay, so he spoke. Pete Buttigieg said Tuesday that he spoke with the author of a recent article in The Root, and that's Michael Harrod, who wrote the article because Pete Buttigieg was saying that we, the black community, are not big on education because we don't have examples to copy in our own community. I found that pretty offensive. Okay, so the guy from The Root, Michael Harriot, called him a lying MF. So he called, but he called to respond because he said he's never been, called that before. So I'm going to read what his response directly to Harriet, because he called him on the phone. He said when he reached out to the author of the article, and while he says, I think that some of the characterization of me personally is unfair. I do understand the concern. What I said in that comment before I became mayor does not reflect the totality of my understanding then and certainly now about the obstacles that students of color face in our system today. What Buttigieg had said back then is, what I said, we don't have the examples, number one, and that, if I can paraphrase, that systematic racism had nothing to do with our ability to climb the economic, if you And again, I found that really, really offensive. Coupled with the fact that Buttigieg and many Democrats who are trying to claim the middle, if you will, the moderate piece of the party, they don't want to go too far right because you'll be labeled. And again, I'm paraphrasing. I'm trying to give y'all stuff that you understand. That's the racism piece. You'll go too far left.
Right.
That is the progressive piece. I'm not going to tell you where I'm leaning, but the centrist is right in the middle, a little bit of both. And I know for me, the racism piece, I don't want no parts of that in anything that's going to be governing me. But it says, just like many centrist Democrats, Buttigieg has focused on the white Midwesterners and not the many Black Americans facing poverty, insecurity, and who have been victims or who are currently victims of the systematic racism. So again, I encourage you to look up this guy, read the articles, look at some of the interviews that he's given, especially that one he gave in front of the Tea Party in the year 2010. It's on YouTube. Check it out and make your assessment.
Right.
All right. The next piece I have is on Kamala Harris. And I know you guys have probably heard me share some insights on her. But just be reminded, Kamala Harris, had tried to defend her legacy as a prosecutor, as Attorney General for the state of California. She did not talk about the criminal prosecutions of parents that resulted from her truancy policy, nor did she take on the death penalty and other matters on which she has been criticized. And people have called her to task in some of the debates. So I contend that if anything threatens her ongoing introduction to Black voters, it's the record as a public prosecutor, first as a district attorney in San Francisco, and then as the Attorney General of California. Now, to stem truancy, Kamala Harris introduced a policy that threatened criminal charges against parents of truant students. Now, anybody who's got a student in middle or high school, if you at work, it ain't a whole lot of control you're going to have over them going to school, especially if you're a single parent and you're working 2 and 3 jobs, which is a case that I heard about, that she prosecuted a woman and actually threatened her with jail time because she was a single mom. She had 2 kids. Her kids would miss school. But again, with 2 or 3 jobs, you monitor the best you can. You got to trust them to do something on their own. And while she said she has not personally, and this is what she said, she has not personally sent folks to jail. And folks I know in California will argue that point. When she pushed the policy statewide after being elected Attorney General, some jurisdictions did, in fact, send parents to jail while enforcing it. And Kamala Harris called that, I'm sorry about that. Those are unintended consequences. But they are consequences, serious consequences, nonetheless. And those consequences impact, say, for instance, the example that I gave of the parent with a couple of kids in middle and high school. They have a little kid in elementary school, and the mom is carted off to jail. Mm-hmm. So those other 2 kids, somebody's going to have to watch that baby. Mm-hmm. So these are things that I don't think Kamala Harris thought all the way through. And when she was confronted with it, it was like, oh, well, those are the breaks. So again, I encourage you to look up Kamala Harris's record. See if, you share those values. Because some of the people who I talked to said, she, they didn't have a problem with parents being accountable for their kids missing school. And to a degree, yeah, parents should be accountable, but there are extenuating circumstances like
There's
that
a couple
parent.
of, is it that whole list of president candidates I got to vet every last one of them because
Yeah.
I'm not really happy. I mean, it's some of them that I like, for, that's in jobs that they have, and I like them in that job. But I don't necessarily think that
they
they
can
would
make
be. So I'm going to have to do a lot of vetting.
Okay, and vet Tulsi Gabbard too. Okay, I'll bring y'all some information about her next week. So I'm off the mic.
Or later on in the show.
Okay, I didn't. Well, I've got some opinions.
Okay.
All right, sweetie.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be back with homeless advocate and activist community leader, Jules Stroman.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. Hey. I told you I know how to work this section.
I had to take some notes. I need some notes today.
Well, I'm ready because I know you got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. I've been seeing you. I don't drive, so that's my thing. You know what I'm saying? But I've been seeing you. I've been seeing you out there.
I'm going to be out there.
Yeah.
Some gotta shine.
Yeah.
Some gotta shine.
Because that's a mess. That's a mess.
Okay.
You know, like white on rice.
Yeah.
You never called me about them clothes that I had.
I text you back in Messenger though, but I don't think you read it yet. So we gotta talk because I got family still coming. Like I need. I'm like, okay, wait a minute.
I got it. Did you drive?
I drive.
Okay, I'm about 10 minutes away from here. You want to just pick them up today or what? It's not that.
Okay, I can pick them up today.
Okay, because I got a bag and.
I appreciate it. I can definitely get it back. I mean,
Yeah.
I still don't have a phone stand, y'all.
Let's see. Let's see what this works. Well, there's something like that.
Is that a phone stand?
Give me that.
Me I have to allow access to the camera in order to go live.
You wanna what you need the Wi-Fi?
I got the Wi-Fi, but it's telling me I gotta allow access to the camera and the mic.
This is
go live.
This is the resident
I don't know
expert.
nothing about the iPhone. It's my daughters. I'm like, I don't know. Androids all day. I'm saying Androids.
Yeah.
She must have changed. She's sat on her phone.
You got Jules Stroman is watching. You here. How you do that?
Yeah, I was just watching a minute ago. I don't know what it, because when I try to go live, this is what comes up. It's telling me they need permission to turn the camera on. This is what comes up. Please, something about the camera. That is, I'm like, what? My daughter done recessed this thing. That's what she did.
Okay, switch camera and mic on.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know.
You know, is it in your menu?
They saying it's in satin, but I was just in satin.
You ain't see it. Go back to it again where I can see if the display.
Go back to the
to the settings so I can see if it's in display or something.
See, I'm trying to allow. This is what it.
Oh
wow! It's telling me I gotta change it from satin. My daughter done did something. Yeah, I was watching when I pulled that. I was watching y'all when I pulled that.
Oh. Excuse me.
Yeah, not just tag me to it. 'Cause I don't know. I gotta deal with this fine lady.
Y'all ready?
Yeah. I'm just move mine in front of you. Is that okay? Just do that.
Turn camera and mic on.
Or you could share the video from my page. Share the video from my page because I'm live now.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
because we can ready to go live with you now. It's running now.
Okay.
Y'all ready?
Yep.
Okay. We are back.
Yes,
we
indeed.
are back. Yes, with our special guests in the building, in the studio. I am so happy to have you here, here again, Queen. I know it's been a lot going on. Jules Stroman. Let's clap it up. Homeless activist, community leader. This chick wears a lot of hats, okay? And she wears them proudly. And she wears them 365 days a year.
And it's making a hell of an impact in
Making
Ward
a
7
hell
and
of
8.
an impact.
East of the river.
Yes, yes. How you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We are
Good.
good. We are good.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for being here. I know you've been busy and everything, and it's been a lot going on. I've been watching you. You got a future leader. You are raising a future leader. I see her out there with you standing next to her mama with that mic, baby. She was giving it up.
Oh, did she, Jewel?
She's
10?
10.
She's 10.
Yeah, I'm saying, all right.
Yeah,
there.
she's 10. And I
Y'all
mean,
watch these babies.
Y'all better
'cause
watch
they
them.
ain't joking.
Y'all
They're showing
better
you how
watch them.
what you should be doing.
And then when they have positive role models as parents, that makes a great difference in this world.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So introduce yourself. Talk to us. Tell us what's been going on. Because I know what's been going on. You know, but I want the people around the world. Because, see, they look at, you know, the District of Columbia, and they think that we got all of the answers to everything, that we living good, that things are, you know, we have just as much going on in our city as a lot of these other cities. Even more so, a lot more. You know, because this is where all of the decisions are made. You would think that we would have a better outcome, you know, with over 15,000 homeless people. I see you fighting for them every single day. Tell us what's been going on.
So, you know, I started the protest at Virginia Williams Family Resource Center. What led me to do that was the denial of the pregnant mother that we saw all over the TV, all on the news.
Yes.
I think her name was Shadon Freeman. Before she was actually denied, it was a group of pregnant mothers. I think about 5 pregnant mothers who were initially turned away from Virginia Williams. And their caseworker had reached out to me. And so I was meeting with DHS about it. I've been posting about it on Facebook. And then when this latest one just happened with the Freeman case, where the security actually, Virginia Williams security actually escorted this mother who was 9 months pregnant outside, and she was holding a 1-year-old baby. When this happened, it pissed me off to the point where I was like, we got to do something.
Right.
Something has to be done because this organization receives too much government funding, private grant funding, private donations. They're making too much money off of homelessness for them to be allowed to put a pregnant woman outside.
So tell us, what is Virginia Williams? What do they do?
Virginia Williams Family Resource Center is the only central intake site in the district for homeless families and families facing housing instability to come to. They are supposed to help you with, and I took notes and wrote all this stuff down, but they're supposed to help you with housing, first month's rent, emergency shelter. You can even go there and apply for like Medicaid, TANF, food stamps, daycare, and whatever other resources you need as far as clothes, getting access to Pampers. I mean, there's a wide range of things that they are supposed to, and I keep saying supposed to, that they are supposed to be doing for the community, but yet they have not done.
Wow.
They have
failed. So, they are responsible for the rapid rehousing, right? Is that all, you know?
So it gets kind of tricky. Rapid rehousing, it falls under Virginia Williams to a certain degree,
right?
But more so DHS, the Department of Human Services, they are the ones who oversees the rapid rehousing or FRSP program, also known as rapid rehousing.
I saw the interaction with you and one of the security guards, said how he just came out and was just nasty and belligerent. And that, you know, to see him act like that, it kind of like made me feel some kind of way, because I'm like, this is, if he's acting like this to her, then this is how he's acting to these people that's coming in,
right,
that don't have a place to go, probably been out in the cold all night long crying with babies, depressed, you know, and this is supposed to be a place where you're supposed to go for comfort. These people are supposed to help you, you know. So to see that like made me feel some kind of way, because like I said, it's like, you know, I know now what those people that because they look down on homeless people.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
And they act like, you know, I done been in the welfare offices before. I haven't been homeless or anything, but I done been in situations like that before. And I see how those caseworkers and, you know, people that work in there, how they treat the people that come in there. They act as if they're actually taking this money out of their pockets and handing it to them, saying, here you go. You know what I'm saying? That's how they act like. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And they treat and they talk to these people like they're kids.
Yes, they do.
You know, we have older people coming in and they just talk to them any kind of way. I see it. You know, so to see that, you know, all play out, and he didn't even mind, you know, opening that door and just trying to go straight in. You know, so I can just imagine how belittled those people come when they have to face these people and they treat them like that.
Okay. Also, you said they get federal money, they get grant money, and they get nonprofit money.
Okay, so Virginia Williams was initially a nonprofit organization,
right?
But it's come to my attention now that they recently, I don't know when, but they recently merged with the district government, so they are no longer a quote unquote nonprofit. So now district government should be held accountable to some degree for the things that are going on there, since they merged with them. You would think.
Yeah. Have they ever been audited?
That's what we're trying to find out. As far as I've been able to tell, there's no public record of that. But we're looking. We're trying to see.
They're taking their money, and nobody's ever asked the question, well, where's the money going? Because you said they're supposed to be doing stuff that they're not doing.
Well, because they just recently fell under district government, I don't know if they were ever audited in the past or not. But that's something that we're getting ready to file a FOIA request to look into. I don't want to speak too much on that, because, you know, DHS will do things to try to set up roadblocks. But we're looking into that, because
Freedom of Information Act, they can't block that.
Yeah, they can't. They cannot. And we're getting ready to file one, because we want to know as well, where's all this money going.
And you turn away pregnant people, 9 months pregnant. Whatever happened to the woman?
So the mother, I just did an interview with a guy who works next door, and he helped her. He gave her $25 and put her in a cab. She went to Howard University Hospital and spent the night there in the lobby. From there, someone connected her to Washington Legal Clinic for the Homeless, and Washington Legal Clinic attorneys advocated for her. And so she was eventually placed by Virginia Williams into the Days Inn Motel. She went through a lot.
Yeah,
she went through a lot to get that help. She went through a whole lot.
Wow.
My God. So, with the, I seen you been protesting up there all week.
Every day.
I don't see the people, like all of those people that you have helped.
Hello.
Get places.
Hello.
I mean, for real. Even when you're not going up there, you go up there to deal with a specific family. You still let people know, okay, look, I'm going to be in the building in case you need some help. So to see them people not standing, at least a few of them standing out there with you, that kind of blew me.
Yeah, it's disappointing. It bothered me because I feel like, and I know you heard me say it, we can all come out for Don't Mute DC with the go-go music. And it's nothing wrong with go-go music. I love me some go-go, but housing is more important.
Right.
You got to have housing. It should be a human right. And so I feel like if we could stand in the millions or in the hundreds or in the thousands, that would really get people's attention. Election season is coming up. So that will force a lot of these politicians to do something, even if they don't want to.
Right.
They will, because it's election season and it's too much attention on it. So they'll have to do something.
Right.
That is the political process. You keep the squeaky wheel is the one that gets the grease.
Right.
When are you going to be back up there?
I'll be back Monday evening.
Okay, because I'm trying to see. I have to look at my calendar. I certainly am willing to walk with you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But
Because you got a bullhorn too, don't you?
Donor.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. When you asked me for the bullhorn, I said, Miss Angela got one, baby, because she wears that thing and know how to use it, okay? It's armed and dangerous, okay?
Well, let me say this real quick, Rose, before we go, because I know this is not going to be a long interview, but I took some notes. And
yes, I
found,
want you got some time.
You know, I found some information, so I definitely wanted to speak on it. I'm going to be reading a little bit from my notes, but in April of 2009, a group came together. It was a group of homeless people, advocates, and other housing providers, and they formed what's called the Emergency Response Work Group. And they did this in response to the urgent concerns from homeless people and from providers all throughout the district. So in November of 2009, the Homeless Emergency Response Work Group conducted a survey. They did this survey for 1 week. They went to Virginia Williams and they surveyed every family who was coming in and out of Virginia Williams receiving, services. I believe they talked to about 125 families and 78 children.
Wow.
Were surveyed, yeah. So through that week, they were able to service, talk to a lot of people. So basically what they found out was, so let me back up. The purpose of the survey was to gather information about the needs of families coming to Virginia Williams. It was to see if the families were, if they were receiving services, and to also see what their housing arrangements were when they left Virginia Williams. And when this group concluded their survey and when they finished it, they came up with a lot of recommendations. And I'm just going to read some of them because these are the same recommendations that we've been saying. And we haven't seen it yet. But what they found in their recommendations, they said that they needed to avoid the denials of shelter to families, meaning to stop denying families.
Yeah.
They needed to assess safety and stability of placements for families on an ongoing basis. They needed to increase oversight. This is an important one. Increase oversight of Virginia Williams by the Department of Human Services. And they also wanted DC to look at other states and their shelter system to try to improve the district's own shelter system, because we know that it's failing massively. The survey also found that most of the families surveyed had previously been to Virginia Williams before on an average of 3 times. They found that only 6 out of 19 families reported receiving housing placement on their first visit to Virginia Williams.
My God.
So 13 were on a waiting list.
So
if they got
13 were
attention at all.
denied. 13 were turned
denied.
away.
Not even on the waiting list.
Not on the list. Just denied. Just turned away. They found out that the survey also found that the requirements for documentation may have been a barrier for families to receive immediate services. So a lot of times when people come in there and they don't have all the documentation that they need, they get turned away. So they found that was something that was blocking families. They found that 8 out of 24 families were told to come back with more documentation before their case could proceed.
And they don't have a place
a place to go. They were turned away.
You know what?
And I'm just read the last couple of recommendations. The last recommendations were that the Homeless Emergency Response Work Group recommendations included for families denied shelter on the day that they apply, they needed to set up an appeal process. So that those families will be able to appeal that decision immediately and not have to wait weeks, or months or whatever. They wanted them to remove the barriers to emergency shelter caused by any documentation requests and to develop a system for families to be placed temporarily into shelter while Virginia Williams assesses whether or not they have appropriate and a safe place to go. So even though this was done in 2009, it was really interesting to me to see that these people came together and formed this work group and talked to 125 families and 78 children and came up with their own recommendations that they later forwarded to Virginia Williams and to DHS. Yet and still, nothing has been done.
Nothing has been
11
done.
years and nothing has been done.
Same problems ongoing. So we'll be out there all next week.
So what do you think it's going to take?
I think it's going to take our elected officials standing up, but also I think it's going to take our families standing up and coming out and saying, hey, enough is enough. If we can join together and protest go-go, we can join together and protest housing.
I know that's right.
We can protest the denials of these black homeless pregnant mothers. And I think it's also going to take, just for the community to say, hey, enough is enough.
Right.
I think honestly what needs to happen, they need to close Virginia Williams down. They need to allow another agency, the advocates are even willing, to work for free. They need to allow another agency to take over Virginia Williams. And Virginia Williams should not be the only place that families can go to for help. That just doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. They're not even open on the weekends. They're not open after 4. Now they close at 4.
Wait a minute, time out. You have a homeless advocacy entity, if you will.
Yeah.
Open
center.
5 days a week or 7 days a week?
5.
They are open 5. Virginia Williams is only open 5 days a week. And on government holidays, they are closed. They were closed Thanksgiving. They were closed this Friday. So that means if a family is homeless, you have to call the shelter hotline, who may or may not hang up the phone on you. Because we've been getting reports of that happening too. And also, we've been getting reports of them not even showing up. The shelter hotline vans not even showing up on scene to pick up families.
Good God.
Okay, so these are the things that's going on.
Are these through Virginia Williams?
This is through Virginia Williams, and I believe DHS, the shelter hotline.
Well, because much to my chagrin and dismay, DHS, Ben Carson is head of that. Ben Carson don't know his head from his ass on a good day. So, that I'm not surprised about. But a homeless advocacy entity that's not open 24/7, 365 days, I don't understand.
Hello.
And people kind of got it miscrewed a little bit, because it's like, I hear some people making statements like, a lot of our homelessness from out here in Prince George's County is coming over there in D.C., which is not true. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a bunch of homeless shelters, but what we do, they basically do the same thing for these homeless people out here that they do out there. We have rapid rehousing. That's, I have been, since you have been, because I was kind of curious with seeing how you dealing with all of that stuff out there. I just wanted to know, are we having the same problems out here? With the issues, people being turned away, all of that type of stuff. And I was very surprised that, people have really been okay. You know what I'm saying? What we don't have out here, I don't think we have enough homeless shelters.
No, we don't. Yeah, they don't. And I've looked, I've seen a couple of articles where churches have opened up.
Yeah.
And let people...
But see, we've been doing that for a lot of years out here. You know what I'm saying? We actually started that whole movement with the out of the code or warmth in the church or whatever it's called. We actually started that out here in Prince George's County. So they've been, going from church to church, and when they, they can stay at one church for a week or whatever, and then they can move out, to another church. Yeah, so they've been doing that for a while out here, but I want it to be something, because people go be homeless all year round.
Exactly.
And we had that big old school over there on Dulwood Lane, and that housed a lot of people. And it's a very good program over there, because I know a lot of people who have phased out of that program.
Is that Shepherd's Cove? I believe I know it's one in PG called Shepherd's Cove. For families.
I don't know what it is. I forgot the name of it. Yeah, it's a school. And yeah, like I said, I have a couple of relatives who have been through that, phased out of that program and everything, where they actually make you do the work that you're supposed to do.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, they not just handing it out. And that's the whole
you
thing.
Earn it.
You know what I'm saying? So it's things that you have to do in these programs. Like, you have to be able to meet these people halfway.
Right.
But if you in a situation where these organizations is not trying to meet you halfway, you know what I'm saying? What do you do?
Right.
And like you said, DC does have more programs as far as homelessness,
transitional
housing. They have more than Virginia and Maryland put together.
Yeah.
Because I was raised in Montgomery County. But the thing is, and you would think that DC would be better because they have so many more.
Yeah.
But they're worse. Maryland is better and Virginia is better with the way they house you, the way they treat you, and the way they place you. DC is some trash.
Yeah, because like I said, since I've been, seeing you on that stuff, I've just been making phone calls and just, I have, even people in my area, you know what I'm saying? We have my apartment complex. They accept homeless people.
Wow.
They have a program, refugees.
Yeah.
And they got a big old sign up on the fence. Okay?
Said welcome.
Welcome. Refugees are welcome. Okay? So they get into these programs, and they've housed them in I live amongst people like that.
Right.
That's in these programs, and they get a job. Okay, when they put them in them damn places and pay their rent up for a year, them people just don't sit there.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They just don't sit there because they know that this year is going to be coming up really soon. So they get jobs, and the next thing you know, they moving out of that apartment and another family is coming in, and it might take about 3 to 6 months. But they have a whole apartment.
Right.
And I seen the people come out, from what is it, health department, you know what I'm saying, come out, get them their physicals, things of that nature. Like, I actually see this stuff goes on, go on in my community, in the community where I live at.
Right.
See, Maryland has more supportive services, like you say. DC doesn't. DC is just throwing these families into rapid rehousing and expecting them to be able to be stable in a year. And we talking about some families who, some of these girls is coming straight out of high school. They've never had an apartment, never had a job, don't know, so I think with the proper services in place, families will be able to thrive and really succeed like they are able to do in Virginia and Maryland, because Virginia and Maryland is going to house you, but they're going to also have services in place to make sure you can succeed. Because you're not going to make their program look bad.
No, you're not.
They're not playing that.
They're not having that. And that's how, and like I said, I just been looking into all of that stuff because I was just curious, and I don't hear people complaining about it. I don't even really, I see some homeless people is in a certain area, and I have even tried to, direct them into, because it's places, and I find out, it's places that people tell me all the time, well, I can get in a shelter, but I don't want to get in a shelter. And I know this, I don't want to go there. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to live by the rules. You have to be in there at a certain time.
Gotcha.
You have to, you have to have a job.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, I had family members that then, they made them get a job. Okay, you're going to get a job. We're going to help you.
Yeah.
But we're not going to be able to help you for the rest of your damn life.
Yeah.
So we're going to help you get, they even help, over there at that school, that shelter, they even help you get a job. They help you get the clothes to put on your back when you got to have an interview.
Exactly.
They do all of that over there on Dulwood Lane. And I, just saying that. And I don't understand. Like I said, we don't have public housing out here. Okay? We never have. We have places that go according to your income out here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of the apartment, we don't even where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they used to accept Section 8, but I guess because they, accepting homeless people and refugees and everything else, they doing their part. You know, with coming up, we don't pay no, utilities. All utilities are included, and they try to, try to keep it going like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they came and they did some things with the water pressure and you know what I'm saying, things like that. But that stuff means a lot.
It does.
Because they stop, to try to give us any type of, help that they can get. Because, I go to the meetings all the time. They was like, they want us to charge for water. But if we can find an effective way to cut down on the cost, we're not going to do that. We've been this way all, since this place has been here.
Yeah.
So why change it?
Whoever owns that complex should get major kudos and accolades for that. Because, I'm listening to you talking, I'm saying, damn.
Yeah, it's the community because, like I said, 4 times a month at the bottom of my hill, we have people come out with, I'm talking about truckloads of food. Meats, produce, everything.
DC, take note.
You know what I'm saying? They come out at the bottom of the hill in them lines. They have them people be walking back with bags and bags of stuff. Snacks for the kids, everything. They have everything out there, and they do this 4 times a month, right at the bottom of my hill, and anybody is welcome.
And Prince George's County is very good about that feeding the community, because I know Bladensburg Rec has it on the 3rd Thursday. What is that other place that has it on the 2nd and the 4th Thursday? They have food pantries all over the county, and I'm talking about fresh produce that anybody, Kentland has it the 2nd and the 4th Thursday.
Yeah, so it's a, like I said, I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
When it comes to this, advocating thing, what I'm saying? I don't just stay stuck in one place, but while I'm fighting for somebody else's city, I want to make sure mine's is good. So that's why I'm always on top of them police. When it comes to, you know what I'm saying? I'm on top of their asses. When it comes to our missing, I don't play that. Okay, you're going to talk to these families. You're going to do anything, we need more outreach. You know what I'm saying? For our LGBTQ community. These are things that I'm seeing in my head. So I reach out to people and I let them know. This is what I think we need. You know what I'm saying? Because we have a whole community of LGBTQ.
But here's another thing, too, I noticed out here. And this is just based on the Citizens Police Academy and the different gatherings I've gone to, information gatherings I've gone to. You can go there. They will receive you.
Yeah, they will.
You can go to your police department, the commander of your particular division, and it is my it's my experience that because I've gone there and introduced myself.
Right.
When I make a call, they come and they don't be jacked.
No, and that's the whole thing, and that's the little incentives that you have for participating in things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I woke up, I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning, right? 4 o'clock this morning because I'm always, I'm up because sometimes I might get an inbox. Like this morning, I was up this morning because I got an inbox of a missing child out here. She just happened to be my cousin's cousin, on her father's side. So this child has been missing since Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I was just up and I call Captain. I have direct contact with him, not calling down there to the precinct. I can call his cell phone. I can call his cell phone number. Like he told me, I don't give a daggone what time it is. It could be 2, 3. So to be able, 5 o'clock, I called him on the phone. 5 o'clock this morning, and he, gave me all the information that I needed to know. So, those type of things, and then, and you let them know, like the last girl that I found, like I went down there with the family and I let them know, you know, hey, this is what's going on. So whatever y'all didn't do the first time that they filed this report, y'all better get it right this time.
Yeah, exactly.
So the next day, that baby was home. Okay, so when you can be able to, you know, move mountains like that.
And all it takes is community. All it takes is for you to get involved.
And everybody can do it.
Everybody can do it. Act like you give a damn.
Yeah.
That's the key word.
Yeah, when you act like you give a damn.
When you act like you give a damn. Because, see, my mindset, when I'm going in front of these people, what I'm thinking about is them 4 little nigglets I have. And I have like about 26 nigglets, little nigglets for my nephews and nieces and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm thinking about your babies. And I'm thinking about your babies. I'm thinking about these babies. Okay? So, that shit right there is like, all that other shit is out the window.
Hello.
Okay, so I tell people all the time, a closed mouth don't get fed.
Right.
You better know it.
It don't get fed.
You better know
so if you're not standing up, if you wanna you know, if you wanna fall for anything,
you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Okay, there it goes.
Yes, you will.
So we need more people like yourself.
And like you. And like Miss Taylor.
You know, because like I said, I am proud of you.
Thank you.
And the work that you do. And like I tell you, you know, you were handpicked by God. Always know that. You ain't always going to have people that's going to agree with what you have to say. And it's because we have too many people that's being pulled like a puppet.
Hello.
Okay. They setting those plans into motions that we done been put into place like 20, 30 years ago. That's why gentrification is setting it. You know, it's on an all-time high. You know, our government think that we can put a couple of beautiful buildings up and that's going to change the crime, that's going to change the outlook, it's going to change the narrative. Hell no. And
put a couple of black faces in positions of quote-unquote power. And we'll buy that we are making progress.
But I'm going to tell you
Everybody
something.
who look like you ain't for you.
No, and I'm going to tell you something, and it's like I don't know what be wrong with our black people. Like I say all the time, most of them done lived in those horrible situations over there in D.C. They done lived there. They done saw the goddamn rats and roaches and shit crawling all over the floor. And they had to live in mold and mildew and all kinds of stuff. So when you get a position that you can help your community, why not do it? But it's for some reason, when they get into them positions, it's like they change the whole narratives in their mind. They begin to think that they're better. Okay, well, I ain't living like that no more, so fuck everybody else who is. And
we call them sellouts.
Yeah, sellouts. And that's what I'm saying. And I ain't going to call because they know who they are. You know, I look at them on a daily basis. Yeah,
you know, I call some names.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of them.
Treyon White.
Yeah,
I don't care who don't like you. I don't care who don't like you.
Like I said, that lived in these same troubled neighborhoods.
Hello.
You already know firsthand what's going on. You know, you already know. So why not try to do something?
Exactly.
But like I said, they lose all focus of that, and it's like, okay, well, I ain't got to worry about killing the rat or throwing the goddamn mouse sticky tray out the goddamn window somewhere. So they got to worry about fuck it. I ain't dealing with it no more. I'm just going to be a sellout.
That's why I don't know if I'll ever run again. Because it's like you got to play the game. They want you to play the game, and I feel like
you do not have to.
You don't have to do it.
But I feel like if you don't want to play the game how they want you to play it, they won't even allow you.
But let me tell you something.
I'm going to
tell you this shit right in front of these 2.2 million listeners, these people that tune in. I'm going to tell you your problem. You want to be accepted by the wrong person.
No, I don't.
And
it's not acceptance.
No, let me tell you.
It's not acceptance.
And I'm going to tell you something. You can't click up with them people. You can't. You cannot click up with them people because when you do, you're going to be set back because most of them, they might be acting like they want shit to be right in your face, but behind your back, when they sitting in them meetings and shit, and they talking to that mayor and all of that, it's a totally different goddamn story.
That's why I say I don't think I'm a run again.
Well, here's why. Here's why I
It's
would
just certain
encourage
things
you.
I don't want to do.
Here's why
You
I
don't
would
have to do
encourage
that,
you
though.
No,
to
I just want to
do
be
it.
me.
Here's why I would
I'm not
encourage.
changing.
Here's what
And you don't have to.
Here's why I would encourage you,
You don't have
to
to.
do it. Because it gives you a platform to speak out. Doesn't matter what Mayor Bowser or any of them other ANC
People,
folks
yeah.
are doing. You have, as someone with that position, you can get in front of a microphone and spin out the right point of view, the
Exactly.
right and the wrong. That is the advantage of having that position. You have a platform.
That's right.
But it's not even only about a platform. Like, I ran before because I wanted to help change the laws, and I wanted to help hold people accountable. And I know if I can get into a certain position and have more power than I have just being an advocate, that I can hold people accountable.
Right.
Because right now, D.C. Council is silent on what's going on at Virginia Williams.
Right.
Now, our elected officials, for the most part, aside from some ANC commissioners, are silent. And so that's the reason why I said I don't think I'll ever really run again, is because I feel like, and even with speaking to people who have ran for office and speaking to people who are council members, it's a certain way that they want you to play the game. And I'm not going to say that you can't get into it if you don't play it that way, but I'm going to say that they can make it hard for you. They can make it hard for you to get into office if they know that you're going to come in and you're going to really be about change. Because a lot of the people that are in it are not in it for the right reasons.
Yeah, most of them are not, and that's why you can't rely on those people. You gotta follow your own mind.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, that's that obstacle that you have to break all the time. Like, when you know what's right in your heart, it's going to take a while. You know what I'm saying? For people to get it. But baby, when they get it, they got it. And it's nothing that they're going to be able to do to change it. Because now, hey, you're in control.
Anything worth having is worth fighting for.
Yes.
My father always said
Yes,
that.
so please, you know what I'm saying? I know
Don't
it gets
quit.
But people got to vote too.
Yeah,
Rose,
and
you know
that's
the
what we try.
problem.
That's what we
We
here
don't
for.
vote. Like, everybody keeps telling me run, and I'm like, are y'all gonna vote? Because the
Yeah.
white people voting.
Yeah.
The white people are voting, but if we not voting, then I can run 1,000 times and I still won't make it in. You get what I'm saying? We got to vote.
But you still got to give it a shot.
I
did.
I
build
did.
up.
I did last year.
Keep going, and I'm telling you, because it's coming. It's coming. It's like all of this narrative is going to change, and you want to know why? Because God said so.
I know that's right.
God said so.
Girl, you gonna
This
make me shout up in here.
This whole narrative is about to change.
Yes, it is.
It's about to change. And we need more people to step up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what the hell be flying out, what's going to come out of my mouth. I don't sit write shit down. I'm just going off of what I'm feeling. I might not have the right words for it, but you're going to get what the hell I'm saying.
Hello.
Exactly.
You know, because I'm
Then
speaking
you have
from
the
the
right
heart.
words.
Exactly.
Then
And
you have
so,
the right words.
and like I tell
Me.
Miss Angela all the time, I meet people where they are. So everybody don't deserve the big words. Okay? Some of them you gonna have to. I ain't gonna stoop to your level, but you gonna understand where the hell I'm coming from, and you gonna understand that you're not going to stop me. You're not gonna, because my mind is my mind, and I have, like I said, I have too much shit at risk. So all of that other shit, those people that, because I have people that block videos that try to stop me on a daily basis. A daily basis.
When you are anointed and appointed, you cannot be.
You can't be stopped. You can't be stopped, and I'm telling you that and living proof. You can't be stopped. God don't. I don't even know how. You know, I have the strength to even do it, but I do it. I know where it come from. It come from God. Because sometimes that I want to give up and say I can't do this shit no more because these people is getting on my goddamn nerves. They irritating and all of that shit. God be on the. That be the devil in one ear. God be in the other ear saying, get your behind up.
No, I mean, I
woke you up this morning.
Get busy.
So you better get your ass up.
You are on assignment.
Yeah, so sometimes I might get up at 3. Sometimes I might get up before I get up when God wake me up. And say, girl, okay.
It's time.
Yeah.
It's time. But my response to that, Rose, is I feel like when it comes to, because a lot of people ask me that, and I know you didn't really ask me, but a lot of people ask me, are you going to run for office again? The way I feel about that is wherever God wants me to be is where I'm going to be. I'm following him.
Yeah.
So if that's his purpose and his will over my life, then it will happen. If not, then I might stay in advocacy. I might open up a nonprofit. I mean, who really knows? But I ask God every day to ordain my steps.
Right.
Because I just want to go where he wants me to be. And I'm still not a saint. I'm not. But wherever God puts me is where I want to be.
Yeah.
And I'll be comfortable with it.
It's going to be okay. But I want you to keep going. Because I really believe in you.
Thank you.
And I look at you, you know, and I know that you can be the voice that we need. We just need this new blood. We need this new shit going on. You know, right now we got to change the narrative all the way around the board.
And it
Everything,
is not,
yeah.
it's
Not
not
just
easy.
homelessness, everything.
Yeah, everything all around the board.
But you know what? They all connected. Like you said, you advocate for trafficking and missing kids, but all of that somehow, and I was talking to Kiki the other day about this, they all connected.
Yeah, they all go hand in hand.
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
this is,
you know how
it
many...
took people a long time
Yeah, you
to
know how
realize
many missing
everything.
persons. Yeah, you know how many missing
connected.
girls that I find out that they done been in a situation of sex trafficking. That's happened more than anything. Most of these girls that we're finding has a story to tell. You know, and sex trafficking comes in many forms. Let's get that. Let's understand that. You know, and we have situations where 41% of recruitment of sex trafficking is from family members.
Whoa.
Okay, 41%.
Unbelievable.
So
Okay.
41 out of every 100 girls.
Is being recruited by a family member. So when we got shit going on like that, it's the whole thing is understanding what you're dealing with. Okay? Because you're never going to be able to come up with a solution to this shit if you don't understand.
Right.
You know, so it's understanding, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm following the protocol. I'm trying to understand all this shit, and so I can understand what I have to do to change it. That's what it is.
Well, if I can just cap that, attitude is everything. We've got a lot of attitudes to change, and that's where the change starts. Because when you change that, your life will change.
Yes. I thank you so much for coming here. And I want you to keep us updated on these things. So whenever you feel the motion of coming, you ain't even got to just look. Friday, call me. Look, I'll be on the show because I got some shit I got to talk about. And here. Okay?
But we're going to be out there all next week.
We'll be out there.
What
Miss
time?
Angela going to
What
check
time?
her.
Monday, I'll be out there at 2 o'clock.
To what time?
From 2 to about 4:30.
Okay.
I always come in the evenings, even though people tell us go in the mornings, but we come in the evening for a reason. Because we want to see how many families sat in there all day and got turned away.
Turned away, yeah.
So the evening is the perfect time to come. So
The afternoon.
the evening and the afternoon, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get out there, even if I got an Uber up there. I'm gonna get out there.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We're gonna take a quick break and then we'll be back with Coach Byron of the Ridge Road Titans going to the Nationals in Florida. Hey!
Ooh, the person
Oh,
got
I
to
got no
wear this
music.
mad because I got all this head grease on.
Oh, don't even worry about it, honey.
You got it, baby. It's
My
gonna be
daughter
okay.
okay. grease me
Don't
up.
even worry about it.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome.
Thank you, sweetie.
baby.
Thank y'all. So I'll be back out Virginia Williams next week.
Okay. I need one more chair.
Pressure on him. I'll see you later.
All right,
Okay,
baby.
sweetie. You said check my messenger?
Yeah, we
Okay,
gonna
so
talk
we're
about
gonna-
the clothes. We gotta coordinate
Yeah.
today
Yeah.
to do all that. All right.
Keep up the door. We're gonna talk.
I'ma call.
I know
Hey,
that,
Funny how they
but I'm gonna tell you, but see, that's why I pushed away from a lot of them. That's why I pushed away from. That's why a lot of them because of that. Like I said, that's what they gonna try to do because, like I said, they take trips with Mirror. They got a street name for her and every fucking thing. So that's what I'm telling you to watch it. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you to watch it because when it's like I don't know what's going on with the mentality because the people you see, but when they see you trying to push for better, so watch.
Just keep pushing.
Smiling, your face don't you. But some of them I keep around for a reason.
That's it.
Believe me, I know.
Yeah.
That's real stupid. But
Yeah.
It depends on what your objective is. You know what you're doing.
I'm home. I'm going straight home from the studio, so
I'm
we
gonna call
can
you tonight
talk.
so we can talk.
Yeah, so we can talk. Yes, I got a whole bottle of Tito's, so I know I'm gonna need it. Love you. You can get right there, Coach.
Come on, Coach.
This is my nephew Capone. This is Miss Angela, and this is
Hello.
Coach Byron.
you doing?
Hey, Coach Byron, how are you, sir?
Right.
The winning team.
Yes,
Okay.
Pee Wee Lee, huh?
Come move over that way a little bit, because you can move over a little
Yeah,
teeny
come on
bit,
this
and
way
y'all
so I can get both of y'all.
Yeah, y'all can try to get y'all both. Yeah, you that big old shit.
Hey, got the go-go swing.
Move over that way, because I want to get you in this angle. Miss Angela, would you move down a little bit? And then, yeah, I'm trying to get y'all.
They good?
You can pull it out and everything. Okay.
I'm trying to get both of them too. I keep getting. Yeah, that's in the way.
You sit it right here in the middle.
I think I see him.
You can pull your mic out. You can pull it towards you. Make sure y'all talking the mic.
Yeah. All right now.
I got it, yeah. You know, I'm trying to work it all. Because, you know, when prayer say, look, I'm going to give you the keys so you can let your own self in, you know, you got to get busy.
All right, now.
we're back. We're back with our special guest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. Like, you know, like I tell you all the time, I like to showcase people that are doing good in the community.
I know that's right.
Especially when it comes to our children. Because our children need positive role models in their life. They need those father figures.
Well, more than that, you need to dispel the notion that they don't exist. Bam.
Bam, we got them sitting right here in the studio. I am pleased to introduce you all to the coach of the Ridge Road Titans, National
Pee Wee League champions.
Pee Wee League champions, baby. Good God, okay? In this studio. Let's clap it up. Coach Byron.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm so happy to have you.
Well, I guess y'all not the national champions yet.
Not yet.
Yeah,
Not
We
yet.
we speaking it into existence.
I know that's right.
Okay, we're speaking it. They won. Okay. They done won it. Okay. I've been watching you for a while.
Okay.
You know, and that's my life. That's part of my life right there. And you know, I know firsthand how you change children's lives. How you make a positive influence in these kids' life. Tell us about what you do. The start of the Ridge Road Titans, how they got so great today. I know you've been coaching for 8 years.
Correct.
Tell us all about it.
I've been coaching for a total of 8 years. I came down to Ridge Road about 3 years ago, and I started coaching these group of young men. Your nephew here, Capone, I've had him for the last 2. He's been a part of this team for the last 2. And I tell people all the time, if you ever follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you'll see that these young men, they're like my kids. They're a part of my family. You know, sometimes my wife might say you're doing too much, but you know, coaching, being a part of football and coaching, my father always did that when I was growing up.
Right.
So that's what kind of motivated me to do this. And like I said, I pop up at these young men's schools. You know, I talk to the teachers. I check on their grades. So playing down at Ridge Road for me is not just about football.
Right.
You know, some of these coaches, you know, you can run real fast, you can jump real high. You know, they'll welcome you. They'll welcome you. You know, because at the end of the day, you're going to make their team look good. You're going to make that coach be successful. You know, I try to take a different approach. You know, I want them to know that this is just another avenue that they can use to help them go on. You know, further in life. Yeah,
I know coaching is just not about teaching them, you know, the passes and the this and the that. I don't know shit about. I'm just, you know, because I'm just. It ain't all about that. Tell us what you really do. Because it's a whole, because you these kids' dad, you these kids' uncle, you know, big uncle, you know, you all of that to these children. You know, you're responsible for them, you know, majority of the time, you know, because they're there. And this baby is into it. You know what I'm saying? So to see him happy and excited to go to practice and, you know, all of that. Just tell us some of the things that you're teaching these children, you know, besides for football. Because like I said, there's a lot more to it than that.
Well, like I said, one of the big things, I use myself as an example. I'm doing pretty good in life. So, you know, I like to show them that everybody that's out here successful is not necessarily doing it through sports. Or not necessarily a rapper. You know, so they come to my house, you know, they see where I live, you know, they like to call it a mansion, you know. You know, but I like to show them, you know, that, hey, there's more than just one avenue that you can do out here to be successful, you know. And then, like I said, I'm just trying to teach them life skills, how to be prepared for life, you know, because I might have them now, but 2 or 3 years from now, these young men, they'll be going to high school. And I'll still keep track of them, you know what I'm saying? But they'll be going to high school. And a couple of years from that, they'll be going to college. And the next thing you know, they'll be out here in the real world, you know? And like I say, I just think that a lot of people don't put the time or pay attention to them. You know, they only keep up with them as long as they have them. You know, so like you said, I get the phone calls. Some of the stuff that moms and dads don't want them kids to talk about, but hey, somebody has to talk to them.
That's right.
You know, they need to feel comfortable opening up, speaking with somebody. Right. You know, and I like to, you know, be that person for them.
So you're not only the academic counselor, you're the sounding board too.
Yeah, I'm everything. I'm guidance, I'm a teacher, counselor, I'm everything.
No, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
So let's talk about this national going on.
Okay.
Is this the first year or?
Well, 2 years ago, the team was invited at the 9-year-old age group. Now, that was just an invitational because we weren't competitive yet, but we were considered one of the better teams in the nation. And we got the chance to go, but we weren't able to play for an actual national championship.
Right.
They did go down there. They won all the games that they played. So this year right here is the first year that they actually can compete and win a national championship.
Wow.
And currently right now they are the CBL champs and the Maryland State champs.
Good stuff.
All right. Yes.
The DC Ridge Road Titans are the Maryland State champs.
Yeah, because even though we are based out of DC, the league is Maryland.
Maryland. Yeah. Oh my God. It's been I'm gonna get a little deep right now because it's been we have been experiencing a high number of this gun violence and these children. We just lost this year Karan Brown, 11 years old, Maurice Scott. The list goes on and on and on. How hard is it just trying to keep these babies
in line.
In line. And do you have to face some of these, situations,
Yeah, so my first, actually it is, like I said, my first group of kids right now are 11th graders. They're in high school right now. They're 11th graders. Like I said, I try to keep in touch with all of them. It's hard at times to keep these young men away from this stuff because these things are always in their face. It's always it's always being glorified.
Right.
I tell the parents sometimes, even when I talk to them, yeah, you're doing an awesome job. You're saying everything that you're supposed to do. But at the end of the day, when they step outside your doors, you can't really determine, what your child's going to be influenced by.
Right.
And that's why I say I try to keep them tight. When I talk to them, I try to relate to them so that they are always open and honest with me. So that they see me as a adult figure, but sometimes, they can, like, oh, Coach B, that's my guy, that's my man, and I try to keep it that way so that they're never fearful to come to me to bring me anything. Because like you said, you can go out here in D.C., any corner and turn, we never know what's going to be put in front of them.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, a lot of times, we find that the streets are raising some of our children. So when we try to put them in a better situation, when they come in front of you, a person like yourself or like you, an educator, you know what I'm saying? It's like they're not used to somebody really caring about them. So a lot of times they don't even know how to accept it. It's not that they don't want to accept it. It's just that they're not used to it a lot of times. When you're at home and you're being called out of your name and being told, you ain't gonna never amount to things and things of that nature. It's they send these children that's damaged and destroyed, and they send them out in the street to you, to me. So sometimes it just become hard, but we can't give up.
Correct.
And like I said, you don't give up.
Correct.
You out here dealing with these kids. I know these different attitudes and
yes, ma'am.
These boys. You're dealing with these boys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And our boys, we had a person that come in, Cheryl Banks. She educated us on sexual abuse and physical abuse. And our young boys, it's like just...
We always focus on the girls.
Yeah, we always
focus on the boys.
We don't never focus on the boys, and they have a very hard time. And I was listening to some of those laws that they have and everything, and I'm like, these little pissy tail ass girls, sometimes they can get them jammed up, and lie about their age and all kinds of stuff and jam our young boys up, and it just be by a mistake that people turn that shit around, and you just the worstest person in the world,
and nobody's ever taught them better.
No,
that's what it boils down to.
So, when is the Nationals? When does that take place?
So next December 7th, Saturday, that's when these young men actually leave out to go to Orlando, Florida to start the check-in process.
That's next week.
Yes, ma'am. And then they will not be scheduled to play their first game until Monday. You actually got to win 3 games down there to win it all.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's how that's set up.
Yeah, so in our bracket, I think it's 7 teams. One from Buffalo, one from Arizona, one from Virginia Beach, and I think it's 3 from here. I can't remember all of the teams.
Wow. Capone.
Yes.
Give it to them, Mike.
Yes.
Tell us about football.
Football.
Why don't we tell about his experience?
Yeah, your experience and yeah, that's what I'm saying. Football. Yeah, football.
Playing on this team.
Well, playing on this team is like it's fun and it's a lot of experience because it's like I don't get to see these people every day or stuff, and it's like it's fun playing football because you get to see some of your friends and stuff and play like this football my favorite sport, so I like to play it a lot. And then playing with Coach Byron is fun because he lets you do stuff, and he like a father figure to you, and then he show you stuff and different stuff, and then he'll play with you and stuff. And
But when it's time to get serious, it's yeah. Oh my God, I'm so proud of you. Yes, this my baby right here. This little baby right here. Ooh.
What position do you play, Capone?
Yes.
I play defensive tackle and center and tackle.
All right.
Okay. So you keep the quarterback safe. All right, now.
Yeah, he's one of the best linemen we got on the team.
Good stuff.
Good God.
And he's actually one of the younger kids on our team.
Really?
Yeah, come on. There's only one other kid his age on our team. He's one of the younger ones on the team.
So what age group?
10 and 11.
10 and 11, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's something.
Yes, indeed.
That's something. So you said on the 7th of December, y'all would be traveling out. How is y'all getting funds in? Is what will we do?
So the parents right now they've been paying. We've also been raising money through different fundraising options. We were selling donuts. We did a fish fry. We sold popcorn. So right now we're still looking for any donation, no matter the size. Because like I said, these young men will be down there for a week. We plan on feeding them.
Yes.
They're going to have activities.
Hotel.
Hotel stays. So, Christmas here is right around the corner.
Yeah.
So, their parents still have other kids and, they still trying to do stuff. So we're trying to lower it as much as possible and, still make sure that we're taking care of these young men. Because they earned this.
Yeah.
Everybody is not able to say that they're going to Florida to compete for a national championship. They had to work hard to get to this point.
Yes.
Like I said, there's 7 teams in their bracket.
Wow. So I've been sharing the links and everything to get these donations in, and I'm going to make a donation as well.
Okay.
To your Cash App. Give the link.
So we didn't do a GoFundMe only because they do tax
They do. They tax it.
Yeah. So some people asked us that why we didn't do that because they do. I think a lot of people don't know that GoFundMe.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
you gotta pay.
You gotta pay taxes on it.
And the more money you get, the more they take.
Correct.
That is correct.
So
That's why I don't
it's
like
horrible.
GoFundMe.
That's why I don't even. I really don't like the GoFundMe thing either because it's like. They find we setting up a damn GoFundMe for to get some money for something. How come you feel like you gotta take some of it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I do a lot of my dealings through PayPal and everything.
Well, I want to make a donation. I don't know who to make it to.
Okay. Well, we will make
What's
it
your
to
name?
Ridge Road. We'll make it up to Ridge Road.
Ridge Road Titans?
Yes. And
Ridge-
the rec is a 501c, so they are a nonprofit.
Okay.
Well, that's where I played my bid with.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the Cash App is Titans TITANSJRPW, and that stands for Titans Junior Pee Wee.
But they take money too. Cash App.
Yeah.
I think it's a little
teeny
lot
bit.
less.
It's a lot less than the
it's a lot
GoFundMe.
less than that GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want y'all to get all the money. That's
Thank
why I
you.
don't check.
Yeah.
And we appreciate it.
Yes.
We
And like I
appreciate
said, I'm going to send something into your Cash App.
Thank you.
And I'm going to be sharing this link. And I'm going to go out and beg a little bit.
We appreciate it. We know it's near the holiday times, and you know.
But they can give up something. Come on, like I was telling them, 5, 10, 20, something. All of that adds up.
Yeah, that's
for
what people.
For all the working people out here, I'm here to tell you, sacrifice a lunch this week.
Yes.
If you're a smoker, sacrifice a pack of cigarettes, a cup of soda. That's Subway sandwich.
That bottle of wine.
That's
that
it.
Gin. You know.
You can
that
do something.
Subway sandwich.
Let's encourage these children.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Thank you so much.
No. We really do appreciate you guys giving us the opportunity to come on here.
Yes.
Like I said, I appreciate having Capone because, like I said, he is one of the young men that he has made a big difference. He's only been on the scene for the last 2 years, but he's definitely made a big difference. And I'm pretty sure if you talk to his mom, she'll know, you know, Capone is my guy. He gives me some problems sometimes. But I get him right back on track.
Yes.
And as you see, you know, like you said, you know, I play video games with him. You know, I joke around with him. We had fun in the car, but, you know, when it's time to get serious.
She told me how a great influence you are in his life. You know, and like I said, I don't even think I made it to a game because I've been so busy with doing, you know, I advocate for the missing and murdered. So we've been doing a lot of things, you know, surrounded about that. But I said, you know, it's something that we can do to help, you know, because like I said, you're doing a great thing with these babies. You know what I'm saying? And when we have people, because a lot of people don't step up. You know, it ain't a lot of Coach Byrons out there. It's really not. That has the patience, you know, to deal with these babies and stuff because that's what it takes right now. They just need somebody to show them some love, some attention.
To encourage them beyond football, the football man. Yeah. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate that too. I really do. So, you know, like I said, anytime that I can help, raise some, you know, whatever I can do. You know, you got my number, call me, you know, and we here.
Appreciate it.
Okay, if you just give that Cash App out one more time, I would appreciate it.
It's $ Titans, TITANSJRPW. And that stands for Titans Junior Pee Wee.
All right.
Good stuff.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Oh, Capone, I'll see you later with your little cute self. You ever had an old lady tell you how cute you were?
Oh, my God, when he was a baby, honey, them cheeks. Oh, my God, we used to pinch him and bite him and suck him, you know. Look at him. Everything. That was my baby, and I'm just so proud of him.
Yes,
and I just, you know, and I'm proud of you. I mean, I just thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know, because, like I said, I worry about these babies. And a lot of them don't have people in their lives, such as yourself, to, you know, you don't have to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You really don't have to do this. And I know it can be overwhelming at times, but I really appreciate it, and I'm thankful that you do.
Yes.
No problem.
You know, so
problem.
keep up the great work. Y'all go to the Nationals and kick some ass, okay?
That's the plan.
Yeah, go and tear their asses up, okay? Thank you so much. Let's clap it up for Coach Byron. Yes, thank you. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to go take some pictures and stuff, and we'll be back. Okay? We're going to take some pictures real quick. Yeah. Back, y'all.
I want to be with a win.
Come on in.
Come on, when you get in the middle, so you make me look good.
How do you want to follow like this?
Yeah, you can do it. Get a long way so you can get us all. Yes.
Okay, so move over a little bit.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Let's take one more. And get one more.
Winner.
Winner.
There you go.
Miss Angela, would you take one of me and my nephew?
It would be my pleasure. Let me take pen.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of my poo.
All right, man. Smile, little boy. Smile some more.
Winner.
Okay.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, Pooh, for giving Auntie some of your time. I know you are an important athlete and everything. You know.
Bit about 9 minutes.
That was great. Thank you,
I love
Mama. You is the best. She always showing off and shit. Yeah, we got. They ain't messing with us. They ain't messing with us. You know.
For real.
You can try to perpetrate all you want to. You can mimic. That's all it is. It's mimic.
Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery.
Yes, it is. I love it. Okay. You wanna? What's
Yes.
what we got? Okay, come on. Let's get back
It's
in
about
here
time
because
to
we got a few. Go
close
ahead.
down.
Go ahead.
You want to update anything on
You
missing
give
a
a-
murder, or are you good?
You can give. I'm good.
Okay.
We're back. We are back. We are back. This has been such a great show today.
Always have a good time when I'm hanging up with you.
Yeah, it was great. I thank you so much, Jules Stroman and Coach Byron.
Yes, indeed.
We got these babies going to the national. And like I said, I'm gonna be posting the Cash App links and everything to my page, Miss Angela's page.
Yes, indeed.
I'm gonna put it on Instagram page, all of that. So, like I said, just make a donation to
Yes,
these
indeed.
babies. Help them out. You know, this is something very positive.
That $5 or $5 or $10 ain't gonna make you
It
or
ain't
break
gonna
you.
make you or break you.
And
It's
it'll
not.
build some young children's self-esteem. And give them an experience outside of, their neighborhood.
Yes.
We certainly appreciate that. And I already put my money where my mouth is.
Okay.
So I challenge
you
you
always
to do so.
do that.
Okay.
Fancy pants.
Okay. It's almost time for us to close out. So I want to just reiterate where the census is coming.
Yes.
You got to fill it out. If you got 100 folks in your house, put 100 folks down there. But we don't want to miss out on any of the money that's coming our way, because we need some better schools. We need some better roads. We need a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
So please fill out the census when it comes. Also be reminded that zoningpgc.pgplanning.com. Learn where they're going to be doing whatever restructuring they're going to be doing in the county, so you can properly plan. If they come after your neighborhood, and I contend that they're going to be coming after some neighborhoods, much to my chagrin and dismay, it's going to happen. You better be prepared to make whatever move you might need to make.
Yes.
Finally, I'm going to keep you guys updated on the candidates who are going to be running in the primary this summer. Guys, vet these folks before you vote. But by all means, I don't care what happens, make sure that you're registered, make sure that you vote. If you have people in other states, and I'm talking particularly both of the Carolinas, North and South Carolina, particularly in Michigan and in Wisconsin. Yes, Black people do live in Wisconsin.
Yes.
Encourage them to, just make sure they double check, because those bots are real. They are real. I had a page full earlier this week about Trump still being popular in the Republican, among Republicans. And yeah, he is. But keep in mind that there are a lot fewer Republicans today than they were 3 years ago. And I call to your attention Joe Scarborough on MSNBC.
They done jumped ship. Okay.
Steve Schmidt, who was McCain's campaign director, and Jolly down in Florida, just to name a prominent few. George Conway ain't real happy. That's Kellyanne's husband, and he's coming out and speaking his piece. So, again, excuse me. Please do not get discouraged. Please do not buy the hype. Please know that your contribution to the process means something. Don't throw your hands up because you see headlines that say Trump's favorability among Republicans is 88%. 88% of, that's 88 folks out of every 100 Republicans. But if you have, a few thousand less Republicans, not a few thousand, but a whole lot of thousand less Republicans, that makes a difference. So again, do not buy the hype. Don't buy into the headlines. And please, 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 by all means, pay attention to what's going on.
Yes.
So with that, we're pushing up on the 6 o'clock hour. And just like
my God. It's like when you having fun, the time flies,
yes,
don't
indeed. It really does.
Yes, indeed.
It really does. So I hope everybody had a very happy Thanksgiving holiday. I want to thank Cheryl Banks from last week. We're going to really be trying to get her back in here.
She'll be back on the 21st.
We're trying to get her here every month. Yeah. Because it's too much that she knows that our community does not know.
And next week, I'll be back on the missing in the murdered segments. I'll be back in full effect. I've been working with some families in Chicago.
Good stuff.
So I'm trying to understand that whole crime thing that's going on down there. So I'm going to have some exclusive interviews coming up the first of the year with some of these families who have experienced gun violence. Some of them 4 or 5 times over. So.
And I'm going to be reminding y'all every single solitary week, don't go into debt over the holidays for your kid. That's thing number one. Over and above that thing number one, do not reward the bad behavior. If your kid comes in,
that's what I was getting ready to tell
with some F's and some E's,
okay,
keep your money in your pocket.
Don't even supposed to go on the goddamn report card.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all better get it together. Stop rewarding bad behavior, y'all. Because y'all turning these children into some damn ungrateful monsters that feel like if they screw up in life, they still want to be able to get rewarded. Yeah, that's what you're doing.
That's indeed. Please, please, please do not do that. And yeah, I'm going to beat that drum every week from now until Christmas. Actually, probably afterwards, because I think that's a big part of the parenting problem. We want to overcompensate because we may not be there during the time.
Yeah, because soon as Christmas is over, we got the taxes coming up. And they're going out to buy the Jordans, the PlayStations, this, the that. If them kids been showing their ass all year round, I don't care. You done gave them enough tax money all year round by providing a roof over their head, putting food on their stomach, and clothes on their back. So that's enough rewarding as it is. Don't feel like you have to give these because you're giving them extra outside of that. And especially when you're giving it to them and they have not earned it.
That's a life pays an exact wage. What you give is what you get.
That's
what you withhold from life, life will withhold from you. As you sow, so shall you reap. So if you, whatever seed you sow in the universe, it will leave your presence. It will never leave your life. So that, it's 6 o'clock. And we want you, again, to count your blessings instead of your crosses, to count your gains instead of your losses, count your joys instead of your woes, count your friends instead of your foes, count your smiles instead of your tears, count your courage instead of your fears, count your fuel years instead of your lean, and count your kind deeds instead of your mean. Count your health instead of your wealth. And above all else, count on God instead of yourself. This is A21 from Black
Rose.
And we are out.
See you next week. We love you.
Love you.